Gila, we were talking about the underground hospital. Maybe we'll say for what it's a use for Mexico, what it can be. But it's an incredible situation when you have something happens that you need a mass response.
So in Rambam we have the underground hospital, and it is used for wars. It was used for COVID patients, when we had the COVID patients, as a surge capacity. So also in Mexico, if you have a problem that you have a mass casualty, big incident,
we have not, but
mega mass casualty. And if you have this kind of mass casualty, you need to have more space to receive more patients. So you can have an underground hospital as a solution. This is not a very easy solution. It needs to be done in advance. It needs to be fortified. I don't know the political situation in Mexico.
No, that's not, but we have earthquakes. Don't worry, we have earthquakes very frequent.
Earthquake, I don't think underground hospital is good for you.
But how to operate in an emergency when you have a lot of casualty,
when you
it's
have
important
a lot
that
of
lesson.
Casualties, if you have a lot of casualties, you need a big area that is designed to change itself from parking to be an area for treating patients. And we have the knowledge how to organize it. Rambam Medical Center has a teaching center for trauma and mass casualty since the year of 1999 when it was open. A lot of doctors came to Israel, and we also go abroad. I just came back now from a workshop in Costa Rica when we organized a mass casualty, very big drill in the Hospital of Pediatrics there. So we would like to share the knowledge that we learned in Israel for many years, and sometimes we pay in blood because in Israel, if you make a mistake and have a conclusion, then you will be better. If we can tell it, to share it with our friends around the world, we can save lives, and everybody wants to save life as much as can. So unfortunately, disaster happen, mass casualties happens, war happens, but if we are ready, if we are trained, then we will be saved.
What is the most important thing to be ready for a mass casualty like that? Like we thought, Israel is in the war, Mexico we have earthquakes, and we have other disasters, hurricanes, I don't know, there are not only in Mexico City, there are all around Mexico, that natural disasters also. So we have to be prepared. We have simulacra, we have many, but how to be prepared in a hospital?
To be prepared in a hospital is to first to think about all the scenarios that can happen. So you need to think in advance what kind of scenarios of mass casualty this hospital will have to deal with. Afterwards, you need to design a protocol to organize the hospital according to your protocol. Where will the patient come? Where they will be treated? How can I get more teams? And then you need to change and teach the teams how to move from peacetime to mass casualty. They need to have the knowledge. They need to know about the ATLS. This is how we treat a patient, advanced trauma life support, how it's transferred to advanced trauma life support in mass casualty. What everybody should do, they need to know it in advance, not when a mass casualty comes. A lot of time in advance. In Israel, everybody knows exactly what will be his role in peacetime and in mass casualty. And this is something very important to design in every hospital. In the national level, the communication between the forces, the fire forces, the army, the police, all the medical forces that will be at the scene need to talk with each other and to be ready with the same protocols. And this is something that is not easy. You have to build. Israel built itself more than 70 years to be ready for wars and mass casualty because we need it in order to stay. And I believe that every country needs to have its own organization for its own unique needs.
Tell me something. When this happens, one of the things is to start operating.
Yes.
But later, it's how to be operating later. When it was COVID, it was a big. When you have an earthquake, like in Mexico, first you get every patient goes to the hospital, but everybody's scared, everybody's shouting, everybody wants to see their family, it's like crazy. You're in that part between the patients, between the doctors, within the medical support, and the families. How to arrange that, how to be calm, how to give them this part of we're taking care.
Okay, so there's a lot of information to speak about how we help in the psychological point of view. So first, there are two clients. The first clients, of course, are the patients and the family. They will be very scared, they will be very stressed. And for each one of them, we have a social worker, psychologists, nurses. We have public information center that it will be only for them, just to relieve the scare, to give them all the information. We have a spokesperson. He will give the information to the media inside the hospital for our teams, because it's a large mass casualty. It might take 2 weeks, 1 month. So we need to build the resilience of the staff. So we need to educate them. We need to give psychologists space and time for group session, for individual session. So we have so many ways to make them feel comfortable, to help them, to address their special needs. We have models for first psychological aid for every patient and every nurse, and we teach all the time. So it's a very important and big part.
Tell me something, in your experience, how was the worst moment and the best moment in that kind of activities? Because we just passed 7 on October, 2 years ago,
Yes.
but we have a war in the north, we have every other things.
So as I live in the north of the country, 7 of October was so bad. But the days after, and the time that we started to receive missiles from everywhere, in the city, on the way to the city, the north was also attacked by the Hezbollah rockets, and then from the Iranian rockets, some of them fell very close to the hospital. So I think the worst moment is to go to the hospital. When you are in the car, driving to the hospital, you are under a situation that you don't have a shelter. So all the time you just say, okay, if something will happen, I need to stop and I need to lie on the street, and this is the worst time. The other worst time for me was when I received one of the rocket attack lady. She was a mother and she lived in an Arab village. And her mother, she came and she died.
Oh.
So I was helping to treat her. And her mother came and I had to show the mother, her dead daughter. And I was holding the mother and we were talking, and the mother told me, I told her, go to your house. And she died because of me, because in her house she didn't have a shelter. So this was a very worst minute for me, to help this mother to overcome and to try to hug her and to explain that she did what she could, and sometimes things happened and she couldn't do something else. So this is one of only small example of our life.
And a good moment, you have that, but you have to have a lot of good moments and marvelous moments.
So I think the good moments is when we were operating the underground hospital and all the patients were inside. So we are -3 levels under the ground and there's a missile. We have the alarm and we go on. We are walking, we are all together, we're speaking. We don't need to hide, we don't need to rush, we don't need to be afraid. All the patients are safe, all the teams are with us. So you know that you did your best and everybody is working together and doing all the best for the patient's sake. So this is a very good
Great. Tell me something, because you talk about in Rambam Medical Center, you don't care only for Jewish patients. You talk about it can the story you told, it was from an Arab village. It was an Arab woman. You treat everybody as the same, because many people will say, all right, it's for just and more in outside. Is there any separation, any difference between Arabs, Christians, Jews in that? Don't worry.
In Haifa, Haifa is a very multicultural city.
Yes.
We live together, Jews, Arabs, Druze, Muslims, Christians, all together, Baha'i people also.
Incredible gardens there.
In the hospital, we walk together hand by hand like brothers, Jewish and Arabs and Christians and Muslims, everybody all together. And of course our patients are coming for the same places. So no change with anybody. We treat everybody the same. We give all our hearts for the Arabs, for the Jews. It's important to know to work together. Sometimes it's not easy. Sometimes there are feelings, and we talk about it. And we learn how to work in this so nice and multicultural and environment. So we learn how to speak. If somebody feels bad, how we can tell it to somebody else, how we can be friends, how we can respect each other. This is so important. You know, if we will not do it, we will not be able to work. So it's not just the patients, it's the team. And the team works together to give everything for the patients in this multicultural environment. It's amazing.
Talking with somebody of Rambam, they told me that someday they have to treat in a bed.
Yes.
Some people here that was hurt
Yes.
in a terrorist attack, and in the other bed it was the terrorist, and they treated as equal. Is that how do you do it? I don't know. Maybe the other one is your friend and the terrorist.
Yes.
How do you do it, Gila?
As a medical provider, sometimes you have to treat the patients, and sometimes you need to treat our enemy, the terrorist or suicide bomber that arrived to the hospital. And unfortunately, I remember an event that one of the terrorist bombers came and he was bombed himself because he was carrying the bomb. So from the blast, he lost his hand and he couldn't see. And my nurses had to feed him and to help him. So I must say, it's not easy. You have very bad feelings about somebody that 10 minutes ago bombed himself and killed 25 patients, and now we have a lot of injured patients around us, and he is there. But remember, we are medical services, and we need to treat everybody. So we do it. Even if we have bad thoughts, we do it. We will treat him, we will feed him, and we'll do everything what we can because this is our obligation.
Gila, now, sorry.